Hello, witchy friends. I'm Emma from eclecticwitchcraft.com. When it comes to tarot, the Magician is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. This card represents someone who is skilled in the art of manifestation and has the ability to make their dreams a reality. When combined with other cards, the meaning and interpretation of the Magician can change. This post will give you practical examples of major arcana cards and how mixing them can change their meanings. Card reading is a skill that can take a long time to master, so let's dive in and study some of these combinations. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Fool tarot cards together? When you pull the Magician and Fool together in a tarot reading, it can symbolize new beginnings, taking risks, and having faith. The Magician is all about using your own power to create your reality, while the Fool represents innocence, spontaneity, and trusting your intuition. This combination can be quite powerful when it comes to manifesting your desires or making positive changes in your life. If you are feeling stuck in a rut, this may be just the push you need to get things moving again. Trust your instincts and don't be afraid to take some chances. With this combination by your side, anything is possible. In a social reading, the Magician and Fool can suggest that it's time to take your relationships to the next level. If you've been thinking about asking someone out on a date or taking your friendship to a romantic level, now is the time to go for it. This combination also indicates that new people are coming into your life, so be open to meeting new friends and potential partners. When it comes to love readings, this combination suggests that you are ready for some big changes. If you're single, you may find yourself suddenly in a relationship. And if you're already in a relationship, things could be progressing quickly towards marriage or something more long-term. Whatever happens, trust that it is all part of your journey and enjoy the ride. In regards to spiritual growth, the Magician and Fool suggest that you are open to new beliefs and experiences. It's time to expand your horizons and explore what else is out there. Whether you're interested in exploring different religions or simply want to learn more about your own spiritual path, this combination encourages you to follow your curiosity. This tarot combination can also be helpful when it comes to financial matters. If you've been struggling with money issues, the Magician suggests that it's time to take control and get things back on track. Meanwhile, the Fool reminds us not to take life too seriously. Remember to have fun and enjoy yourself even when times are tough. This balance of head and heart will help you make smart decisions about your money so that you can achieve your financial goals. Finally, if you've been dealing with some mental health issues, this tarot combination indicates that recovery is possible. The Magician represents our ability to heal ourselves, while the Fool symbolizes hope and faith. Trust that you have the power within you to overcome whatever challenges you're facing right now. Remember to take things one day at a time, and don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. With this duo by your side, anything is possible. What does it mean when I pull two Magician tarot cards together in a light and shadow tarot deck or mixed deck reading? When two Magician tarot cards are pulled together in a light and shadow tarot deck or mixed deck reading, it usually signifies that the person being read for is going through a period of significant personal growth and change. This combination can also suggest that the individual is about to embark on a new phase in their life, where they will be using their skills and talents to achieve success. The Magician cards represent our ability to create our reality through our thoughts, words, and actions. When these cards appear together in a reading, it indicates that we have the power to manifest our desires into reality. If you are currently facing any challenges in your life, this tarot combination suggests that you have the power within you to overcome them. All you need to do is trust in yourself and your abilities. This tarot combination can also signify that now is the time for you to take control of your life and start creating the future you want. The combined energy of the two Magicians reminds us that we are each capable of great things if we put our minds to it. If there has been something holding you back from achieving your goals or reaching your full potential, this card pairing suggests that now is the time to let go of those limitations and step into your power. Trusting in yourself and taking decisive action will lead you towards success. In terms of our social life, the Magician tarot cards suggest that we have the power to create powerful and positive relationships with others. If you have been feeling disconnected from your friends or family members, this combination indicates that it is time to reach out and reconnect. You may find that by taking some proactive steps, you can quickly improve your relationships. This card pairing can also signify that now is a good time to network and build new connections. Whether you are looking for love or seeking professional opportunities, expanding your social circle will help you achieve your goals. When it comes to our love life, the two Magicians usually indicate a period of growth and change. If you have been feeling stuck in a relationship rut, this card pairing suggests that it is time to take some decisive action and make some changes. This could mean reigniting the spark in your current relationship or making a clean break from an unhealthy situation. Either way, trust in yourself and follow your heart. The magicians remind us that we have the power to create our own reality when it comes to matters of the heart. This tarot combination can also suggest financial success in our lives if we are willing to put in the work required. The magicians represent our ability to manifest abundance through hard work and dedication. If you are currently facing any money problems, this reading suggests that now is the time to start taking control of your finances and putting some solid plans into place. In terms of our mental health, the two magicians usually signify a period of positive change and growth. If you have been struggling with your mental health, this card pairing suggests that now is the time to start taking some proactive steps to improve your well-being. This could involve seeking professional help, making lifestyle changes, or simply working on your self-confidence. Whatever you do, trust in yourself and believe that you have the power to make positive changes in your life. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the High Priestess tarot cards together? When the Magician and High Priestess tarot cards are pulled together, it usually indicates that the person is very intuitive and in touch with their spiritual side. This combination can also suggest that the person is extremely creative and has a strong connection to the natural world. The High Priestess positive card meaning is fertility and abundance, so this pairing can indicate that someone is going through a period of prosperity. However, this combo can also represent duality or opposing forces at work, so it's important to be aware of both sides of any situation. Overall, this tarot combination suggests that someone is highly attuned to their intuition and creativity, and they should use these gifts to manifest their desires into reality. If you're looking for more specific advice, the Magician and High Priestess can also indicate that it's a good time to start a new project or business venture. This is a powerful combination for manifestation, so if you've been thinking about making a change in your life, now is the time to take action. Trust your intuition and let your creativity flow. Success is on the horizon. When it comes to love, the Magician and High Priestess can represent a very harmonious relationship. This pairing suggests that both partners are in touch with their feminine and masculine sides, and they are able to communicate and understand each other very well. If you're single, this combination indicates that you're ready to attract your perfect match. Keep your eyes open for someone who is your equal in both intellect and intuition. This could be the start of a beautiful partnership. In terms of health, the Magician-High Priestess combination usually signifies good physical health overall. However, it's also important to pay attention to your mental and emotional well-being during this time. This combo can suggest that you're feeling a bit out of balance, so make sure to take some time for yourself to relax and recharge. Trust your intuition when it comes to making choices about your health. If something doesn't feel right, don't hesitate to get a second opinion from a professional. Finally, when it comes to finances, the Magician-High Priestess pairing usually means that money is flowing relatively freely at the moment. However, this isn't necessarily a green light to go on a spending spree. Be mindful of what you're spending your money on, as this combination can also indicate financial instability down the road if you're not careful with your funds. Save up for big purchases instead of buying things on credit, and invest in long-term goals rather than quick fixes. With a little planning and discipline, you'll be able to maintain financial stability despite any bumps in the road ahead. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Empress tarot cards together? When the Magician and Empress tarot cards are pulled together in a reading, it generally signifies that the K-Rent is entering into a very creative period. This can be a time of new beginnings, when we feel particularly inspired and motivated to pursue our dreams. The Magician is all about taking action and manifestation, while the Empress represents fertility, creativity, and abundance. So this combination suggests that whatever we put our minds to during this cycle will have a good chance of coming to fruition. In terms of social life, this may be a period where we make some important connections or meet someone who has a significant impact on our lives. We should try to get out there and mix things up a bit, go to events, join groups or clubs related to our interests, etc. As for love life, if we're single, then this would be an ideal time to put ourselves out there and attract potential partners. If we're already in relationships, then things should be going swimmingly thanks to all the positive energy flowing between us. On the spiritual front, this is definitely a time when we can deepen our connection with Source/the Universe/God, Des, however you conceive of them. We may find ourselves drawn towards practices like meditation or journaling as ways to connect with something larger than ourselves. And finally, in terms of money matters, we should see an uptick in financial flow during this phase, whether that's through increased earnings or unexpected windfalls. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Emperor tarot cards together? When the Magician and Emperor tarot cards are pulled together, it can mean that we are feeling a sense of power and control in our lives. This combination can suggest that we are able to manifest our desires into reality. We may feel like we are on top of the world, and nothing can bring us down. The downside to this is that we could become too arrogant or cocky, thinking that we know everything. It's important to remain humble and open-minded when this combination appears, as it will help keep us grounded. The Emperor suggests structure and authority, while the Magician represents creativity and manifestation. Together, these two energies can help us create what we want in our lives. If we use them wisely, they can be a very powerful force for good. However, if misused, they can lead to problems such as dictatorial behavior or being manipulative towards others. This tarot combination can have a positive or negative effect on our social life, depending on how we use the energies. If we are too forceful with our opinions and try to control others, it will not go down well. However, if we use our power to help others and make them feel good about themselves, then this combination can be very beneficial for our social life. The same goes for our love life. If we try to control our partner or dominate them, it will soon lead to problems. However, if we use our power and influence to bring romance and passion into the relationship, then this combination can really spice things up. When it comes to spiritual matters, the Magician and Emperor suggest that we have the ability to create whatever reality we desire. This doesn't mean that everything will be perfect all of the time, but it does mean that we have the potential to create heaven on earth if we so choose. We just need to remember not to get too attached to any one outcome, as ultimately nothing is ever set in stone. In terms of money matters, this combination suggests that we have the power to increase our wealth if we use our creative abilities wisely. We may need to be a bit more disciplined than usual, but if we focus on manifesting what we want, then this tarot combination can really help us boost our finances. Finally, when it comes to mental health, the Magician and Emperor tarot cards suggest that we have the ability to control our thoughts and emotions. This doesn't mean that we will never experience negative feelings, but it does mean that we have the power to choose how we react to them. If we can learn to control our thinking and stay positive, this combination can really help us improve our mental well-being. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Hierophant tarot cards together? When the Magician and Hierophant cards appear together in a reading, it is a powerful indication that you are ready to take your life to the next level. This combination speaks of mastering your craft, whether that be your professional skill set or creative talents. It is also a sign that you are ready to start sharing your knowledge with others, teaching them what you have learned so they can benefit from it as well. If you are currently at a crossroads in your life, this tarot combination can represent two very different paths before you. The Magician may be urging you to strike out on your own and forge your own unique path, while the Hierophant indicates following a more traditional route. Ultimately, only you can decide which path is right for you, but whatever choice you make, know that both options hold great potential for success and personal growth. There can be a negative meaning, too. If you are feeling trapped or stifled by your current circumstances, this combination can suggest that you need to break free in order to truly thrive. Are you living someone else's dream instead of your own? It may be time to make a change and start following your heart instead of outside expectations. In general, the Magician-Hierophant combination is a positive sign that indicates you have the power within you to create the life you want, so go out there and make it happen. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Lover's tarot cards together? When the Magician and the Lover's tarot cards are pulled together, it can mean that we are facing a situation in which we need to make a decision between our head and our heart. This may be a difficult choice, but it is one that we must make with care and thoughtfulness. If we allow ourselves to be guided by passion alone, we may not end up where we want to be. However, if we let logic rule supreme, we may miss out on something beautiful. The key is to find balance between these two forces within us. On the positive side, this combination can indicate that we are about to experience a great love. This may be a new relationship or a rekindling of an old flame. Either way, we should let our hearts guide us and not be afraid to take risks. If we do, we may find ourselves in the happiest of relationships. On the negative side, this combination can suggest that we are at risk of making poor decisions based on emotion instead of logic. We may want to heed the advice of others before making any rash moves. Trust your head as well as your heart, and you should be able to navigate whatever challenges come your way. If we are able to find balance between our head and our heart, this combination of tarot cards can indicate that we will be successful in whatever we undertake. We will be able to make sound decisions and also follow our bliss. This is a powerful combination that can help us create the life we desire. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Chariot tarot cards together? When the Magician and Chariot tarot cards are pulled together, it can indicate that we are in control of our destiny and have the power to manifest our desires. This is a very positive combination, as it suggests that we are able to create our own reality. However, this combination can also suggest that we may be too focused on material success and need to remember to balance our spiritual needs with our worldly goals. When it comes to our social life, this combination suggests that we are popular and well-liked. We have the ability to charm others and put them at ease. Our charisma is strong, and people are drawn to us. However, we need to be careful not to take advantage of our popularity or use it for selfish reasons. In terms of love, this combination suggests that we are passionate and intense lovers. We know what we want in a partner and aren't afraid to go after it. We can be a bit forceful in our pursuit of love, but ultimately we just want someone who will return our passion. This intensity can sometimes scare off potential partners though, so we need to be careful not to apply too much pressure. When it comes to money, this combination indicates that we have the power to create abundance in our lives. We are able to magnetically attract wealth and success if we focus our energy on positive thoughts and actions. However, we need to be careful not to become too obsessed with money or material possessions. This combination suggests that we are also able to give back generously, so remember to share your wealth with others. This tarot combination can indicate that we have a strong connection to our spiritual side. We are intuitive and in touch with our higher selves. We can use our psychic abilities to help us manifest our desires and create the life we want. However, we need to be careful not to get lost in the spiritual world and forget about our everyday responsibilities. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Strength tarot cards together? When the Magician and Strength tarot cards are pulled together, it generally signifies that there is a great deal of power and potential at our disposal. This can be positive or negative depending on how we choose to use this power. If used for good, we can see tremendous success in all areas of our lives. We could manifest our deepest desires and create powerful change in the world around us. On the other hand, if we misuse this power, it could lead to destruction and chaos both within ourselves and in our relationships with others. In terms of social interactions, this combination suggests that we have the ability to charm and persuade those around us. We could use these skills for good by using them to build strong relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. However, if we allow ourselves to be controlled by ego or become manipulative, then this combination can represent disharmony between people. In terms of love, this combination suggests that we have the ability to be very passionate and intense lovers. We could use this passion to create a deep and lasting connection with our partner. However, if we allow ourselves to be controlled by jealousy or become possessive, then this combination can represent problems in our relationships. In terms of spirituality, this combination suggests that we have the ability to connect deeply with our higher selves and tap into our psychic abilities. We could use these skills for good by using them to help us grow spiritually and develop our intuition. However, if we allow ourselves to be controlled by fear or doubt, then this combination can represent blockages in our spiritual development. In terms of money, this combination suggests that we have the potential for great abundance. If used wisely, we could manifest financial security and abundance in our lives. However, if allowed to rule us, then greed could take over, leading us down a path of debt and financial ruin. In terms of mental health, this combination suggests that we have the ability to tap into our creative potential and use our imagination to its fullest. We could use this power for good by using it to help us overcome challenges and achieve our goals. However, if we allow ourselves to be controlled by fear or anxiety, then this combination can represent mental health issues such as panic attacks or OCD. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Hermit tarot cards together? When you pull the Magician and Hermit together in a reading, it can suggest that you are going through a period of introspection. The combination of these two cards often encourages us to take a step back from our busy lives and reflect on what is truly important to us. This may be a time for self-discovery, when we are exploring our own unique talents and abilities. We may also be seeking guidance from our intuition or higher power during this time. The Magician suggests that we have all the tools we need within ourselves to make positive changes in our lives. The Hermit reminds us that true wisdom comes from within and reminds us to listen to our inner voice. Together, these two cards encourage us to trust in ourselves and our own intuition as we navigate through life's challenges. While this tarot combination can represent a positive period of personal growth, it can also indicate some challenges ahead. If you are feeling lost or confused, the Magician-Hermit combination can suggest that you need to take some time for yourself to figure out what you really want in life. This may be a difficult process, but ultimately it will lead you towards greater clarity and purpose. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune tarot cards together? When the Magician and Wheel of Fortune tarot cards appear together in a reading, it is generally indicative of positive change happening in your life. The Magician card suggests that you have the power to create your own reality, while the Wheel of Fortune indicates that good luck is on its way. This combination can represent a time of increased abundance and prosperity in all areas of your life. However, it is important to remember that with great power comes great responsibility. The negative side of this combination could suggest that you are taking advantage of others or using underhanded methods to get ahead. If you find yourself in a situation where you are not behaving ethically, be sure to check your motives and make sure they are aligned with your highest good. To get the most out of this positive energy, it is important to stay focused and maintain a positive attitude. Keep your head up and believe that good things are on the horizon. When we put our trust in the universe, magical things can happen. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Justice tarot cards together? When the Magician and Justice tarot cards are pulled together, it can indicate that we are in a good place spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. We may be feeling more connected to our intuition and higher selves, and this is allowing us to make choices that are aligned with our true desires. This combination can also signify that we are manifesting our goals and desires into reality. We may be experiencing abundance in all areas of life, including our social life, love life, money, and mental health. However, this combination can also suggest that we need to be careful not to get too caught up in materialistic pursuits or become overly self-righteous. It is important to maintain balance between giving and receiving, as well as staying attuned to our intuition in order to create the best outcomes for ourselves and others. Nothing is purely positive or negative, so while this tarot combination generally signifies good things happening in our lives, we should be aware that there is always potential for both positive and negative outcomes depending on how we choose to interpret and act on the information we receive. In general, the Magician and Justice tarot cards together indicate that we are on a positive path spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. We are able to connect with our intuition and make choices that align with our true desires. This combination can also bring abundance into all areas of life, but it is important to stay balanced and grounded in order to create the best outcomes for ourselves and others. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Hanged Man tarot cards together? When the Magician and Hanged Man tarot cards are pulled together in a reading, it can mean that we are at a crossroads in our lives. This combination can suggest that we need to make an important decision, or else face some sort of consequence. The Hanged Man's position suggests that he is stuck between two worlds, the physical world and the spiritual world. He is also suspended upside down, which could be interpreted as being turned around or feeling lost. Meanwhile, the Magician is standing upright with one arm raised towards the heavens and one hand pointing downwards. This suggests that he has power over both worlds. Together, these two cards suggest that we need to find a balance between our head and our heart in order to make the best decision for ourselves. On a more positive note, this combination can also suggest new beginnings or making significant changes in our lives. The Hanged Man's position suggests letting go of what no longer serves us, while the Magician's posture indicates taking action towards our goals. In other words, this combination encourages us to take control of our lives and create our own destiny. We may need to let go of old patterns or behaviors in order to move forward into something new and exciting. When it comes to love, the Magician and Hanged Man tarot cards suggest that we need to find a balance between giving and receiving. The Hanged Man's position suggests that we may need to sacrifice our own needs in order to benefit our relationship, while the Magician's posture indicates taking action towards our goals. In other words, this combination encourages us to be selfless in our relationships and give as much as we receive. We may need to let go of some of our egoistic tendencies in order to create a more harmonious relationship with our partner. In terms of money, this combination can suggest being careful with spending or else facing financial difficulties down the road. The Hanged Man's position suggests being patient when it comes to earning money, while the Magician's posture indicates using our resources wisely. In other words, this combination encourages us not to waste our money on things that we don't really need. We may need to save up for something important instead of splurging on unnecessary items. When it comes mental health, the Magician and Hanged Man tarot cards suggest finding a balance between logic and emotion. The Hanged Man's position suggests being open-minded and flexible in how we think about things, while the Magician's posture indicates using both sides of our brain equally: left brain, logic, and right brain, emotion. In other words, this combination encourages us not get too caught up in either side at the expense of ignoring the other side altogether. We may need to find a healthy middle ground between thinking things through logically and feeling things out emotionally in order to maintain our mental well-being. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Death tarot cards together? When the Magician and Death tarot cards are pulled together, it generally signifies a major life change. This could be something as drastic as a move to a new city or country, starting a new job, or ending a relationship. It can also indicate that someone close to you will pass away. However, this is not always necessarily a negative thing. Sometimes death simply represents the end of one chapter in our lives so that we can begin anew. On the positive side, this combination suggests that we have the power to create our own destiny. The Magician tells us that we have all the tools and resources we need within ourselves to make whatever changes we desire in our lives. Death reminds us that nothing is permanent and everything is constantly evolving. Even though change can be scary, it is often necessary for our growth and development. So if you're facing some big changes in your life right now, remember that you have the power to make them happen, just like the Magician. On the negative side, this combination can suggest that we are resistant to change. We may be holding on to something, or someone, even though it is no longer serving us. This could be a toxic relationship, a dead-end job, or any other situation that is no longer bringing us joy or helping us grow. It's important to remember that just because something was once good for us doesn't mean it always will be. Sometimes we need to let go in order to make room for new and better things in our lives. Is it true that these two cards can also symbolize our shadow selves, the things we repress or deny about ourselves? Yes, this is definitely true. The Magician represents our light, the aspects of ourselves that we are proud of and that we share with the world. Death reminds us of our darkness, the parts of ourselves that we keep hidden away because we're afraid to face them. However, it's important to remember that both light and dark are necessary for balance. Without one, the other cannot exist. So if you find yourself resistant to change or facing some difficult truths about yourself, know that it's all part of your journey towards becoming your best self. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Temperance tarot cards together? In a reading, the Magician and Temperance tarot cards can mean that you have the power to manifest your desires, but you need to be patient and take things slowly. This combination can also indicate that you are able to find balance in your life, but you need to be careful not to overdo it. You may need to use your willpower to stay on track. On the negative side, this combination could represent temptation and excess. Be careful of becoming too obsessed with something or someone. It takes more than just desire and willpower to make things happen. The Magician is about taking action and using your talents and skills to create what you want, but the Temperance card warns against going too far too fast. You need to find a balance between rushing ahead and moving too slowly. This can be a difficult tightrope to walk, but it's important to take your time so that you don't make any mistakes along the way. This combination can also indicate that you are able to find balance in your life, which is represented by the two figures on the Temperance card pouring liquid from one cup into another. This represents being able to see both sides of every issue and finding a middle ground that works for everyone involved. However, you need to be careful not to overdo it. The figure on the right of the card is tipping over, which shows that you can't take things too far or you will lose your balance. In general, this combination suggests that you have the power to manifest your desires, but you need to be patient and take things slowly. You may need to use your willpower to stay on track and avoid temptation. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Devil tarot cards together? This is one of the card combinations that can immediately create a reaction in the reader. On the one hand, it's easy to see how these two could be seen as complete opposites. The Magician is all about taking control and using your abilities to manifest your desires, while the Devil represents being trapped or enslaved by your own worst impulses. However, there are also many ways in which these two cards can be interpreted together positively. For example, this combination could represent someone who is very good at manifestation but whose personal life is not in alignment with their goals. In this case, the Devil card would indicate that they need to work on themselves before they can fully achieve their dreams. Alternatively, this combination could also suggest that someone has all the tools and ability they need to succeed but are choosing not to use them due to fear or other negative emotions. Here, the Devil card would be prompting them to face their fears and take action anyway. Of course, like all tarot combinations, there are both positive and negative potentials here depending on how you choose to interpret them. If you focus only on the negatives, then yes, this combination could represent being controlled by your darker impulses or feeling trapped in a cycle of self-destructive behavior. However, if you instead choose to focus on the positives, then it's just as possible that this combination indicates having great power and ability but needing some help getting past any blocks so that you can truly shine. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Tower tarot cards together? The card reader, when they pull this tarot combination, can interpret it a few different ways. The first way is that something drastic and unforeseen will happen, which will cause massive changes in our social life, love life, spiritual life, money, and mental health. This could be interpreted as either positive or negative depending on the situation. The second interpretation is that we are about to face some major challenges or obstacles in our lives, but if we work hard and stay focused, we can overcome them. Again, this could be seen as either positive or negative depending on the specific situation. The Tower and the Magician together can also indicate that we are about to enter a period of great creativity and personal power. We may be called on to use our skills and talents in new ways, or to take risks and venture out into the world in pursuit of our dreams. This can be an exciting and empowering time, but it can also be challenging if we're not prepared for it. Whatever way you interpret this combination, it's important to stay open-minded and flexible, as these cards represent sudden change and the need for adaptability. If you're asking about a specific situation in your life, the reader may need more information before they can give you a detailed interpretation. In general, however, the combination of the Tower and Magician tarot cards suggests that big changes are on the horizon. These changes could be positive or negative, depending on how we choose to deal with them. Either way, it's important to stay focused and true to ourselves as we navigate this period of transition. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Star tarot cards together? When the Magician and Star tarot cards are pulled together, it generally signifies that someone is about to embark on a new journey or chapter in their life. This can be an exciting time full of possibilities, but it can also be a bit overwhelming as you may feel like you're starting from scratch. It's important to trust your intuition and have faith in yourself during this time, as you will likely need to rely on your own strength and knowledge more than ever before. The positive aspects of this combination suggest that success is possible if you put your mind to it, so don't be afraid to go after what you want. However, the downside is that things could get pretty hectic if you're not careful. Make sure to take some time for yourself every now and then to avoid burning out. The Star is a reminder that we are all connected, and that even in the darkest of times there is always hope. The Magician is a symbol of our own personal power, and when these two cards come together, it suggests that we have the potential to achieve great things if we believe in ourselves and stay true to our path. This combination can represent a new beginning, or a time of significant change and growth. It's important to listen to your heart during this period, as you may be called to pursue something outside of your comfort zone, but know that you have the strength and ability to make it happen if you set your mind to it. On the downside, this combination can also indicate recklessness or chaos if not managed properly. Be careful not to take on too much at once, and remember to give yourself some time for rest and relaxation amidst all the changes taking place. Trusting your intuition will be key during this time. If something feels off or like too much work, it probably is. Listen to your gut instinct and don't be afraid. Slow down every now and then. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Moon tarot cards together? The Magician and the Moon together can be interpreted as a very powerful combination. On the one hand, the Magician is all about manifestation, willpower, and using our personal power to create change in our lives. The Moon represents emotions, intuition, and our subconscious mind. So together these two cards suggest that we have access to great power if we can learn to harness it effectively. However, this combination can also indicate some challenges or obstacles that need to be overcome first. For example, the Magician may represent someone who is trying to control everything in their life and not giving into their feelings or intuition at all. This could lead to them feeling stressed out, anxious, and maybe even a little bit lost. In order for them to move forward, they will need to start listening to their heart more and following their gut instinct instead of just logic all the time. The Moon might also show up when we are going through a tough emotional time where everything feels dark and confusing. But if we trust our intuition and go with the flow, then eventually things will start making sense again. Take some time to meditate on what these two cards might mean for you specifically and how you can use their energies to your advantage. Remember, the key is to find a balance between logic and intuition, head and heart. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Sun tarot cards together? When the Sun and Magician are pulled together in a tarot reading, it usually signifies that the K-Rent is about to embark on a new adventure or journey. This could be literal, such as starting a new job or moving to a new city, or it could be more figurative, such as taking up a new hobby or exploring their spirituality. The Sun is all about growth, optimism, and expansion, while the Magician is about manifestation and using your personal power to create change. So this combination suggests that whatever you set your mind to at this time will likely come into fruition. However, it's important not to get too ahead of yourself or try to force things. Let the universe do its thing and trust that everything will work out in the end. On the flip side, this combination can also indicate recklessness and overconfidence. If you're not careful, you might bite off more than you can chew or find yourself in over your head. Remember that even though you have immense power within you, there are still some things beyond your control. Use your abilities wisely and don't take unnecessary risks, otherwise you may end up regretting it later on down the road. When we look at this combination in terms of social life, it might suggest that the K-Rent is about to make some new friends or start attending more social events. They're coming out of their shell and ready to mingle. However, like with anything else, moderation is key. Too much socializing can lead to burnout. Make sure you take some time for yourself every now and then so you don't get overwhelmed. In terms of love life, this combination suggests that things are heating up. If you're single, you may meet someone new who really catches your eye. And if you're already in a relationship, things could be getting pretty steamy between you and your partner. Just remember not to let passion blind you. Make sure your head is in the game as well as your heart. If we look at this combination from a spiritual perspective, it indicates that the K-Rent is opening themselves up to new beliefs and ways of thinking. They're exploring different aspects of spirituality and trying to find what works best for them. This can be a very exciting time full of self-discovery, but it's important not to get lost down the rabbit hole. Keep one foot grounded in reality so you don't lose sight of who you are amidst all the exploration. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the Judgment tarot cards together? When the Magician and Judgment cards are pulled together in a tarot reading, it can indicate that someone is coming to a crossroads in their life. This can be a time of major decisions or changes, and it is important to be mindful of the choices being made. The Magician card represents our ability to create our own reality through our actions and thoughts, while the Judgment card reminds us that we will ultimately have to face the consequences of our choices. There can be both positive and negative implications depending on what path is chosen. If someone is looking to make positive changes in their life, this combination can indicate that they have all the tools they need to make those changes happen. They just need to take action and trust their instincts. However, if someone is facing significant challenges or making poor choices, this combination warns that they may come back to haunt them later on down the road. It's important to think carefully about any decision being made at this time, as it could have long-lasting repercussions. The Magician card often represents our creative power and ability to manifest our desires into reality. When combined with the Judgment card, it can remind us that we need to be careful what we wish for. We may get exactly what we want, but it might not be what's best for us in the long run. This is a time to consider all possible outcomes before taking any action. The Judgment card often signifies a time of reckoning or karma coming back around. If someone has been behaving badly or making poor choices, this combination warns that they will eventually have to face the consequences of their actions. It's important to try and make amends now before things get too out of hand. On the other hand, if someone has been working hard and doing their best, this combination indicates that they will soon be rewarded for their efforts. All their hard work is about to pay off. In general, this tarot combination suggests that someone is at a crossroads in their life and needs to make some important decisions. The choices made now could have long-lasting implications, so it's important to weigh all options carefully before taking any action. This is also a good time to reflect on past choices and consider how they may have led to the current situation. Ultimately, only you can decide what's best for you and your journey ahead. What does it mean when I pull the Magician and the World tarot cards together? When you pull the Magician and the World together in a tarot reading, it generally signifies that you are in control of your destiny and have the power to manifest your desires into reality. This is a very positive combination that suggests that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve. The World represents completion or fulfillment, so this may also be indicating that you are about to reach a major milestone or goal in your life. However, as with all things, there is always another side to the coin. In some cases, this combination can suggest that someone is being too controlling or manipulative in their quest for success. It could also indicate greediness or a lack of concern for others, basically anything negative associated with having too much power. So while this is generally a positive combination overall, make sure to use your powers wisely. This special card combination can also symbolize travel, either literal physical travel or journeying in the metaphysical sense. If you've been feeling called to explore new horizons, this may be your sign to do just that. The world is yours for the taking, so go out and see all that it has to offer.